welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. This Nintendo News Daily. Our main topic today is going to be talking about the Virtual Boy, and because it seems that there's quite a bit of there's some differing opinions on this thing, and you guys might even be surprised on my thoughts on it potentially, and because I was holding back some of my thoughts on it because I wanted to okay, can we play it docked at all? That answer is no as of right now. You can play it handheld, but it's like playing on a postage stamp, so it's a little bit rough. And so we're going to get into all of it. We also got a handful of news articles to cover. Before we jump into it, I got to say what's up to Nady Nay. Puzzles and Gaming is here. Welcome on in, everybody. I see there's quite a few people just lurking as well. So welcome to the show. Appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to go ahead and get the articles up on screen here, and it's kind of cool. We're actually dual streaming right now, and I'm able to put the articles above my head in vertical, so that's pretty rad. So we're looking at an article from Nintendo Life. First up, Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC in-game event starts today. Starts today. So you got from today until the 23rd, and you're going to be looking for uh, some ostrich statues this time around. So cool stuff there. The Clever says Nintendo could have swung the Virtual Boy out of the park, but they didn't. They didn't. Yeah, I like how I think. I think you're are you mocking me for saying swinged yesterday? I think you are. I appreciate that. It's a good callback. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I really, really do. All right. I'm here for it. Back to the news. Donkey Kong Bonanza Emerald Rush DLC new event starting now. And yeah, so jump on in. I'm not quite sure which level they're going to send us to on this one, but you get to unlock a couple ostrich statues. One's the OG from Donkey Kong Country, and one's the ostrich from Bonanza. So I appreciate the laugh, the clever. That's good stuff. Good stuff, my friend. Moving on. Virtual Fighter 5 World Stage Switch 2 Open Beta starts this week, and it is including cross play network testing. So it's looking like, in case you missed it, the week of or from the week of the 18th of February until the 23rd, you'll have to have an active online Switch membership. And there's also support for arcade stick type controllers, which is cool if you've got an arcade stick. Um, and there have been some officially licensed by Nintendo. That's super super cool. But yeah, if you wanna jump into the beta, it's going to be starting in about 2 days here. Be able to take Virtual Fighter 5 for a test drive and see how it runs and help test their servers. So really really cool stuff. Love being able to go hands on with stuff a little bit early. It is going to be coming out March 2nd. Like it seems like the games haven't really slowed down all that much, between first party and third party stuff. Like it and I don't know if you guys are like me, like I waited on a couple of games that came out last year until they hit some sales, like the Mortal Kombat collection, Star Wars Outlaws, uh, Final Fantasy is still sitting there. Like my backlog's crazy right now. Just crazy. So I see Steak is here. What's going on, my friend? Welcome on in. But yeah, the beta is starting on the 19th. Um, I'm just trying to see it. Maybe, yeah. Um, Now wait, the Switch 2. Oh, my dates were off, you guys. When I saw the Switch 2 this March, I was thinking March 2nd. Uh, March 26th. March 26th. Okay. Um, Nady Nay said Virtual Fighter is like Virtual Boy and it takes the L. That's crazy. Uh, Midvice. Well played, my friend. Well played. That is a good nickname for college. Very, very well played. So, anyway, um, everybody but Nate can jump into the Virtual Fighter 5 open beta and see if they like it. The article from Nintendo Life reads, "Forget the talking flower. This is the cutest upcoming Mario toy, and it's a Yoshi that hatches from an egg." I'm gonna go ahead and play it here. And so I saw this thing showed. I don't know where I saw it. Maybe on maybe like an Instagram reel or something. But it was they were showing this thing off, and basically you just mess with the egg until Yoshi finally hatches out of it, and then I think he'll even like learn to talk and get a little more chatty as yeah, as you can see on the screen right there as he grows, you know. So and there are a ton of Mario movie uh Mario movie toys have hit shelves. And there's some really um really cool stuff. So the clever says, will the broken shells be able to be used again? Not likely. I think this is like I feel like this is pretty like a pretty common toy right now where they have like dinosaurs hatch out of these eggs and then you just gotta toss them essentially. So um Nate says no, you just have to buy new shells for Yoshi for 49.99. I mean, there you go. There you go. So yeah, it's looking like Yoshi is coming in at $50 if you want to pick this up. But pretty cool to see the line of toys that they're doing. The one that I saw was like the little mini Bowser's castle that they have him in the movie, and the paintings apparently if you like hold them in your hand for a minute, they go from being like just a blank canvas to showing different images, which is pretty cool. But I've seen like the Mario Brothers on bikes and a number of other. Let's see. No, that takes you to their toys. I know. I know that Nintendo Life had a handful of like had an article up with a handful of them showing them off, but it's not showing up in their recent. So this one, as soon as I saw it, I knew it was for Midfi Senpai. It says Stellar Blade Dev might be eyeing a Switch 2 release in the future. So the article reads, we've seen several ports come our way in the last 8 months that could have been nothing more than a pipe dream on Switch One, and it looks like another title that got everyone talking on PS5 back in 2024 might make the jump to the new Nintendo Hybrid 2. We're talking about Stellar Blade, of course, the action adventure from Sony Interactive Entertainment and Shift Up. In the developer's latest financial report, the team discussed what it hopes to see. It what it hopes to see the game achieve in 2026, noting that we are reviewing platform expansion beyond PS5 and PC to broaden audience reach. This approach is expected to both introduce the title to new players and gradually build anticipation for the next chapter in the series. Now, okay, there's no specific mention of Switch 2 according to the article in there, and the platform expansion is merely being reviewed at the moment. But if the audience reach that Shift Up is after, we are struggling to think of a better destination than Nintendo's latest. Like, are they really going to grow all that much if they move this game over to Xbox? Unlikely. Unlikely. So, I mean, some, of course, but I think eh, I think getting it over on Switch is the play. Hit it in two fronts. So, um hit it on two fronts. So Midfi Senpai is excited. Said this gang sold gangbusters. I don't know why. Sure you don't. Um, let's see. Also said all Nintendo had to do was threw a helmet on this character, and it would have been destroyed, and it would have destroyed Metroid Prime 4. Oh, interesting. There we go. There we go. Oh my god. I cannot say anything. I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful with you guys. You guys are crazy. Crazy, crazy tonight. Well, 13 Switch emulators hit by latest wave of Nintendo takedowns. Our development will continue, says one defiant dev. So I saw this circulating, and we'll just jump into the article here. It says, as spotted by Reddit user DeVille, Nintendo issued a new DMCA notice on Friday calling for the removal of 13 Switch emulators GitHub pages, alongside any that still rely on Yuzu. The takedown targeted Citron, Eden, Kenji NX, Mellow NX, Pine, Pomelo, Ryubing, Ryujinx, Skyline, Sudachi, Sumi, and Suyu, which the one formed by Yuzu's Wake. So, as the previous takedowns, Nintendo cites the circumvention of its technological protection measures as grounds for removal. Nintendo Switch emulators are primarily designed to play Nintendo Switch games. Specifically, these Nintendo Switch emulators illegally circumvent Nintendo's TPMs and run illegal copies of Nintendo Switch games, the notice reads. Thus, they are primarily designed and unlawfully circumvent technological measures that effectively control access to a work protected under the DMCA, and distribution of these emulators constitutes unlawful trafficking in technology that is primarily designed or produced for the purpose of circumventing a technological measure that effectively controls access to copyrighted works. So it looks like, and yet not every emulator outlined is ready to pack it up just yet, as noted by WCCF Tech, one of the project managers behind the Switch emulator Eden, took to its dedicated Discord channel on Friday to note our source code is unaffected as it isn't hosted on GitHub. The only thing targeted was our GitHub release page. According to the post, Eden seems confident that its emulator source code will remain available despite the GitHub takedown. Our development will continue as always, the message concludes. So there you go. There you go. True 64-bit says, hello, glad I can tune in. Just finished playing some Mario Tennis Fever. Let's go. I did as well. We did a Mario Tennis Fever stream tonight, which was a lot of fun. So yeah, Nintendo still wanting to go after these emulators. And I mean I don't blame them. These are I saw a pretty good post on X, somebody saying like, look, I get it. You download an NES game right now, you're probably not taking any money from anybody at this point. Like those games are just they're unless there's some kind of a remake or something in the works, but that's not going to happen, especially with some licensed IP. It's not happening whatsoever. But these are playing games that are still being released now. Like you'll be able to play Tamagotchi Life if you want without like just through emulation. So I do like fully understand why Nintendo would go after these, and I get it. It's I mean, the scare with the Switch 2 of everybody saying like, "Yo, if I do the wrong thing, are they gonna brick this thing?" I am curious. I mean, they're working hard to try to get the Switch 2 to the same place that they were able to get the Switch 1, but Nintendo seems to be playing hardball this time around. So, be interesting to see if anybody cracks the code. I always say life will find a way. So Steak said, yeah, just not the Switch 2 games because they haven't hacked it yet. Exactly. Exactly that. You are correct, my friend. So moving on over to My Nintendo News. There's a rumor that leakers claim Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green to return on the eShop with home compatibility. So these would I don't know. Well, it's hard to say what they mean by Fire Red, Leaf Green. I don't think Leaf Green was in the States, right? We had Red and Blue and then Yellow eventually. And I believe those three games were available in the Life Finds a Way. Exactly. Jeff Goldblum. Exactly right. um, so I don't know, I don't know if the States would get red and green. You know what I mean? Like, I assume we would get red and blue and maybe even yellow. And those were available on the eShop on the 3DS. And so that might happen. What do you guys I want to hear from you guys on this. When it comes to Pokemon Day, when it comes to them doing red oh wait, so Fire Red, Leaf Green. These are the Gen 3 GBA remakes. Okay. Because correct me if I'm wrong, I thought in Japan wasn't green and red what they ended up getting instead of blue. Maybe you guys know that I'm it's Pokemon, so bear with me. But that's super cool though. If it's going to be the GBA games, I love that. Like that's super super cool. So um but what do you guys want to see from the anniversary? Like do you guys want to see like some games like this? Do you want to see remakes of the older games? Obviously, we want to see the new game, but I kind of hope they pull out all the stops. Like I want to see I want to see I want to see a lot when it comes to to Pokemon for the 30th anniversary. You know, we're seeing some insane Lego sets already, and a bunch of different. I'm seeing a bunch of different collabs. I know some of the cards that they have coming out for the 30th anniversary are also pretty insane. Steak says, "I want Fire Red," so that's super cool. Yeah, okay, and yeah, so I'm just curious how far they'll take it. I like I would want to see a Pokemon collection with that ties into home and that even has some online connectivity to where we could at least battle and trade. I would love to see a collection. Even like not that I'm a not that I'm a big fan of like the scarcity marketing or whatever, the scarcity tactics, but even if they said, "Yo, for the year, we're going to put out a physical edition of these games." Like, I think it would be great to see a physical and not just eShop because it's I mean, from the rumor makes it seem like it's only eShop and not gonna be physical, so we'll have to wait and see, but I really do hope they pull out all the stops on this and that community can really, really eat well, you know? And we've also got Champions coming up very soon, right? So it's gonna be very interesting, like, where where are the meta Pokemon gonna be coming from? Are they gonna stuff some of them inside of these games that are gonna be coming out to kinda, put a little carrot on the stick there to go and pick those up so that you can get you know, the certain Pokemon that are gonna be the meta for champions? I'm very curious on this. So, it's next week's gonna be pretty exciting. So make sure you're sticking around for like the event and everything because I'll be live on all of it. We'll be chatting about it because I'm fingers crossed we're gonna see a lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff. So Steak said Fire Red and Leaf Green were the ultimate additions. If I had my wish, they will never do it, but it would be a HD 2D remake collection of gens 1 through 3. Yo, yeah, that would be insane. Insane. I mean, I've got what is it? Shiny Pearl, you know, right? It's I have it sitting here on my desk. Like I couldn't stop playing that game. I could not put that game down. I blazed through that game. And so if we get some classics, even if it's just the old like even if it's the GBA games, I'm gonna be stoked on it. I've never touched them. I went from Pokemon Yellow. I played a little bit of X, just a tiny bit of X, and I couldn't beat the first gym. And I was like, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And then Pokemon hit the Switch, and I couldn't. I I got the bug, and it bit me. I really got the bug. So I see Nate saying, "Can't wait for Pokemon." I know Nate is so excited for Pokemon as always. But yeah, so you know, we'll just have to wait and see. Grain of salt as always. Like when it comes to rumors and leaks and that kind of stuff. Mina the Hollower. Now expected in spring of 2020. This is from My Nintendo News. And it says, following the announcement of the unfortunate but necessary delay to add some extra polish to the game, Yacht Club Games has now announced that the anticipated Mina the Hollower will be released in spring 2026. An exact release date has not yet been shared, but it's good to know that we don't have much longer to wait as the game will now launch between March and May. So there you go. Cool stuff. I love this. Steak said playing Brilliant Diamond right now. awesome. That is so cool. The clever 187 says the says, "Don't lie. You know it's too much reading in Pokemon games for you." Ha ha, that's true. That's true. You are not wrong. You're not wrong. Uh, I'm actually thinking it's, uh, it's the Cleaver 187. Maybe reading is tough, you know? Maybe. You have to let me know, but I think that's what it is. I was always thinking it was like you were being clever, but I think it's Cleaver. So, it is with a K, but, you have to let me know. I think that's what it is, so cool. It's only been how many years of me reading it incorrectly? Speaking of reading, on a reading comment, got me. He also hit me with the swinged earlier today, so, that was good. Well, you know what? I wanna make sure I mention that. So Steak said, "Love my predictions in the Game Bird video today." Yeah, you guys look up the Game Bird on YouTube, or check my retweet on X. I was in a predictions video with a bunch of creators. Thunderstash was in there, Andre, and I think Nintendo Land, Mike Odyssey. I'm just going off the top of my head, but there was quite a few doing a prediction video, and it was a lot of fun. So make sure make sure to check that out. Yeah, a lot of good folks on that. So let's talk the Game Bird. Yes, the Game Bird Classic. The Game Bird Classic. Look up the Game Bird Classic on YouTube. He's one of the co-hosts on Nintendo Prime's podcast. So super super cool dude, and he's going to be joining me tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern for uh NPC. So make sure to tune in for that. We're gonna be uh chatting all things Nintendo. So right? Is that to no Thursday? Thursday. I'm like, wait, gotta make sure I get my dates right. Thursday, the Game Bird Classic is joining me on NPC. So gonna be good stuff. So yes, and there is the free demo of Mina is on PS5 as well as Switch. And no matter what system if you're on a PS5 or you're on the Switch 2, make sure to turn the settings on 120 because it looks crazy. It looks crazy at 120. Um oh, here's another little quick tidbit. Apparently, you can see behind Mario's head here. I don't know if you guys can really see it all that well, but it looks like Rob the Robot may be in the movie. So that would be pretty cool. And then I also saw from Game Explain, Andre did like a YouTube short. It looks like Star Fox might be in the movie. So, um, oh, they pulled the demo off of the Switch? Oh, I didn't realize that. Interesting. I didn't why do why would they do that? I does that ever has it when have we ever heard of somebody pulling their demo off? That seems so strange. So strange. But apparently they had. So but yeah, so there's this shot in the Mario movie where like Rosalina ship, I think that's what it is, or there's some kind of ship taking off, and you can see somebody that has like a gun or a radio on their hip, and they've got green on them, and it very much kind of looks like Star Fox. And even in his video, he's like, "Well, it's green. Maybe it's Luigi." No, Luigi's on the other side of the screen. So be pretty interesting. I mean, what if this is something that happens in these movies? What if the last one was Donkey Kong? What if we see new IP introduced through these movies? Like that would be great. The only thing I would find a bit strange is they're not selling anything Star Fox. There's nothing Star Fox available outside of like uh Smash or something, right? So yeah. Yeah, so and going back to Mina, everybody's saying, like, it got pulled when it got delayed, might have been a time demo. I'm wondering if, you know, maybe maybe part of the delay was something they found in the code that they were like, "Yo, we gotta get this out." I mean, I think I still have it on my Switch too, but, I'd have to go and look. So, anyway, cool stuff from the Mario movie. Let's talk about the Virtual Boy. So, we got some photos from Nintendo Life here, and, you guys can see I have mine. It's still in the box. I do plan on opening it. I'm just not, I just haven't had time yet, and so, I do plan on opening it and giving it a try, giving you guys my impressions that way. I did, like I said at the beginning of the show, I tried it docked, doesn't work. I played it handheld. It's pretty small. I mean, you could do it. I honestly feel like this is this seems very strange, okay? And so I see a lot of different conversations about this right now. Some people are saying, "Why am I paying for a subscription service and then having to buy a peripheral for $100 or $30? Or if I want to use my Switch 1, I could go dig out my old Labo VR set." But none of those are like super ideal, right? Like the Labo VR, you're holding it like here. I think I don't they don't have pictures of the yeah, they don't have pictures of like the cardboard one right now, but like it I don't feel like they're like a true virtual set, like you could put it around your head. Like I saw somebody post a picture that was like, what am I doing with my life?" As they were playing Virtual Boy, you know, sitting at their dining room table. And like Nadine Nay said, overheard the cardboard is even a better route to go. And I kind of wondered that. Yeah. Jason said, "Who needs a Virtual Boy when Switch can play on MetaQuest?" Whoop. Nate says, "Total miss." Let's see. Is it the clever maybe? 187 said, "Two ways, two paywalls to play games you already paying for is crazy work." Yeah. Nate said, "A system you discontinued super quick." So, especially as somebody who, you know, like streams, creates content, this should have worked on your TV. I like somehow they're capturing footage, so they've got some way of making it happen, right? And I think the best route for this would to have been like, okay, they seem to be in like a somewhat of like a preservation mode, right? They've got the Nintendo Museum, Virtual Boy for some reason, like I thought it was like the redheaded stepchild of Nintendo that they like didn't ever want to talk about again. And then they are. And then, you know, so you see it at the museum, you see NSO. Okay, cool. But I do think it is a miss when they are locking out games because they're locking out games behind another paywall. If NSO stops or you stop paying for your subscription, you can't play with these. The piece of plastic is going to become a decoration. And uh you know, Steak says they needed another system to throw in NSO, then they can tout it having X number of systems, then they maybe raise the price to not have to raise Switch 2's price. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I mean, price everything seems to be going up in price, so it wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. But so like I was saying, on one hand, it's like, okay, we get to experience it semi close to the way it was designed. So that there's a novelty to that, right? Like I get that. I think it's cool. I don't think it needed to be locked behind that, though. I think just putting these games out, letting us play them on the TV, figuring it out however you gotta do it. Maybe it happens, a little ways down the road, but again, that also seems a bit predatory, just be upfront. This thing's not and maybe they're like, "You know what? Virtual Boy's not going to move the needle on NSO subscriptions, so to justify the work that they've done on it, they they have to sell cardboard, they have to sell plastics." Okay, cool. But what's gonna be really annoying is, like, when we get the tweets that, like, new NSO games are dropping, and it's a Virtual Boy game, and that's it. That's not ideal, and that's not what, you know, that's not gonna get get people super hyped. Steak said, "But Josh, multiple colors, not just red images." And I mean, people you can take this however you want. Like some people are like, "Oh, don't be too negative, blah blah blah." But like, I think it's okay to kind of look at this stuff critically. Like, one, not everybody's gonna can throw down $100 on this piece of plastic, and $30 on cardboard is sometimes that's like when you really think about it, you're like, I'm buying cardboard for this. I mean, if you buy a lot of Pokemon cards, you already do anyway. And and of course you see people their different posts about how this is peak or whatever. Like it's cool. I'm excited. I've wanted to have a Virtual Boy forever. So it works out. Like now I do. Would I still want to get an OG and put it in my collection? Yeah, of course I would. But right now I can set this thing up and it will look like uh it will look like the official one. I mean, it is official from Nintendo. It's just not the original. And so there are aspects there are aspects of it that I get, but I really do wish that we could just play them on the TV. And I think and I have seen so many people talk about this. So many people talk about it. So Nate says, "Why couldn't this dumb, stupid, horrible, bad, ugly console be in the standard tier? Why in the expansion?" Also a good question. Also a good question. Why is it in the expanded tier and not just in the base? Similar to like the uh the Game Boy, right? Kind of failed console. You've already got GameCube on Switch 2. Yeah, I think it could have I think it could have been it could have been put in the main, not the expansion also. So the stakes of the good news is it might drop the price for those originals for you to pick up. That's true. That is also true. And it's one of those things I'm more like I haven't even started the collection yet, but like sometimes I'll spot the Virtual Boy games and I'm like, I gotta start that. It's a small collection, right? I know a couple of them are a little more pricey, but like just to and they're not the machine is you can display easy, but the games like you really can't. They're about the size of like a Game Gear game or maybe a little bit bigger. So they don't really display all that well either. But and again, it's not like some like trophy piece, something super, super sick. It's like this was just a mistake, unfortunately. And and in some cases, it seems like they're making a mistake again. Like, just let everybody play this. If you're an NSO member, it should have been available to every the bottom tier, and it should have worked on TV. And at the very least, make it work on handheld. Like at the very least, blow up what like the first thing I did is I turned it on, which by the way, if you try to play handheld, the only way I could figure out how to get out of the system was to hold down the power button and do a restart. Like I couldn't g like, I think there may be some kind of sensor or something in the, Virtual Boy itself because it kept saying I needed to pull the switch out and then hit close software, and it wouldn't I couldn't do it. I was literally just sitting here playing handheld, and it wouldn't work. So, I played a little bit of pinball. You can check them out. Again, not ideal. And talk about eye strain because it is, and they go through Nintendo Life has like different ways you can play it. Somebody's like, "Oh, you can look at it cross-eyed and and then try to play that way," which is like um that's not gonna work. Oh, looks like Skippler says you have to tap the close button with your finger. I see. I rarely touch the screen. I sometimes even forget it is a touch screen, so I'm like, I don't know what's going on here, so I just restarted it. So that's good to know. Uh the Clever says it will definitely not drop the price for the OG Virtual Boy. If anything, might go up because the interest, supply and demand. That's yeah, there's that as well. There's definitely that. What's kinda cool, the retro game shop right near me is they have the old display. You can and I it's sometimes it's working. Sometimes it's working, so you can actually go and play uh you can play the Virtual Boy and the Game Boy in their old, like their old kiosks or whatever, which is super, super cool. So, but yeah, overall, I feel like there's, this one's a bit of a miss, and hopefully they make some updates. They do have more colors coming out for the screens, like we mentioned, and so hopefully they do something. But again, how does everybody feel if they're like, I bought this thing for $100, now everybody can just play on their screen? That's fine with me. Like, not everybody's gonna be like me and say, "Oh, I'm cool with it." I'm cool with it. Like, I think there's some fun to be had with some of these games, but I feel like playing it the way it's designed to has zero community impact, really, anything like that. Whereas, like, um, you could stream the pinball game or some of the other games, maybe, going for high scores, that kinda stuff, but, like, right now, everything it just feels as isolated as it originally did, and that seems strange to me. It really seems strange to me. So, um, Midvi Senpai says, "The OG was also a bit of a miss, hard pass." Oh, yeah. Free migraines for everybody. Um, Nate says, "Well, you won't get the full experience." I know, like, do you guys think for the $100, should they have, included the controller? Like, because it's a very interesting controller. It's like a I think there's, like, 2 D-pads on it. It's kind of like the GameCube controller on Ozempic is kinda what it looks like, it's very skinny looking, and so it's just yeah, it's such an interesting console that they seem to put a lot into, like, I mean, the launch lineup was pretty big. So, um, Mid-Fi Senpai says, "Wait, no control." No, you gotta use your Switch 2 controller or your Joy-Cons. So, um, let's see. Nate says, "No, for the $100, they should have attached it to bottle rockets." Here we go. Steak said, "Never saw it or played it, but tried out. So no nostalgia for me, but I was also 6 when it released." Yeah, there you go. That makes sense. Skippler says, "I would like to know, is there a way to play online with Virtual Boy Classics?" No, because I don't think there's any. I don't even think this game. I don't think the peripheral had a link cable like the Game Boy. I don't think. I could be wrong, but I'm my gut feeling without like diving into it is that anything that was like multiplayer was you just passed it back and forth. So if there was something that was two player, like let's say the Mario game or like the Wario game, but I don't think they are. Maybe when I did the pinball today, I don't think I saw a two-player option. I don't think I saw that either. So, um, just checked eBay and they're already scalping the Virtual Boy for 150 and up. Yeah. Which I think they're still available. Um, Skipper said, "No, the link cable was canceled. However, that hasn't stopped the community." So if there were games with link cables, then I would say that there's a possibility that that could happen. And I will look into it to see if any of the games that are out right now currently had that. And I'd also have to see if any of the games that did release did have that multiplayer feature. I'm not sure. So, um, did it have a link cable for up to 2 units for 2 player? Yeah, that's so I'm thinking that's so it was canceled, but there was apparently it was, in the works. So, Jake says no multiplayer games were made per Wikipedia. Okay. So there we go. So then yeah. Um, but I think that there are I don't know. I've gone down a little bit of a rabbit hole with the Virtual Boy, and some of the uh, some of the games that I found on YouTube were like finished by the community, like a game finished by the community that never released. It was like an unreleased game. Somehow, like source code or something got out there, maybe, and then it ended up getting finished. So I'm not quite sure what that was or anything. But I mean, we talked about this early on when they announced it. You can play Virtual Boy games on the 3DS. It doesn't need like it just works. It works. Now, obviously, it has 3D. Okay, cool. But you could still play those with the 3D turned off, meaning I don't think it's all that hard for Nintendo to be able to make this system work on our screens. Now, maybe when the colors, when they get that done, maybe they say, "Hey, we're also allowing people to play it on their TVs." I don't know if I don't know if there's any concern with like burn-in or any of those, if certain colors are worse than others, any of that. I'm not quite sure. But I think at the end of the day, the the paywall is just to sell more plastic is really is really how it works. It's just to sell more plastic. And I think it's a bit unfortunate. So Snake says it works. Todd Howard and his sweet little lies. There you go. There you go. So yeah, like I love the historical aspect of the Virtual Boy. I like that they are staying true to form. I just wish that they had kind of pulled out all the stops with this, made it accessible to everybody, even if you didn't have to spend any more money. And and I think big people's biggest gripe is that I got to drop $100 on this, and if I stop paying for NSO or NSO goes away, this just becomes a hunk of plastic. And I mean, the reality is it's going to become a hunk of plastic anyway. How long are you going to play these games? Probably not all that much. Uh, so maybe the cardboard is the way to go. But again, $30 or for cardboard is also steep. So the original Virtual Boys on eBay are going for 400 and up. Oh yes. Oh yes, I believe it. So, well, that's going to do it for me tonight, guys. Thank you so much for everything. I appreciate you all so very much. And we'll be back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, for another episode of the Nintendo Powercast. And as always, play it loud.